You're listening to Career Ready, and I'm Coach K. Getting you ready for your corporate career. Today we're going to discuss 3 things. The first is the difference between a workplace bully and an ineffective manager. The second is practical ways for you to identify if your potential manager could be a bully manager before you work for them. And the third is how you can identify a bully manager when you're already working. So firstly, an ineffective manager is just a poor leader. These are managers who've perhaps not received adequate management training or just don't have the constitution for leadership. It doesn't make them bad people or even malice. While a workplace bully or a bully manager is someone who deliberately uses their position or perceived power, either verbally or physically, to cause you mental, emotional, or physical harm, usually with the intent to derail or ruin your career. A client of mine recently told me about an interview that they attended. They were interviewed by the owner and CEO of the company in a one-on-one session. They were really excited about this role. It was for a globally recognized brand, with the potential to travel and really allow them to be creative in their role. But the CEO was rude and crass. The entire interview he was undermining, rude, judgmental, used profane language, and was caught in not 1 but 2 lies during the interview. But it got worse. My client was then asked to prove their previous salary right there during the interview because the CEO did not believe that they were earning the amount of money for the work they were doing. Needless to say, my client did not take the job. Are you starting to pick up why? Yes, because they immediately established from the CEO's behavior that working with him would be a nightmare, that the CEO was not just a poor leader, but a bully as well. But what if you're not interviewing with someone as arrogantly open about the abusive behavior in an interview as this CEO was? How can you tell if they have the potential to be a bully manager? Well, here's 3 ways that you can use to identify a bully manager before you start working for them. Number 1, you can guess it, is to ask questions. I raise this point often because you get to gain insights not just about the company, but about your potential manager as well. So don't waste this opportunity by not being prepared or by asking simple service level questions, but rather ask strategic questions designed to give deeper insights and then actually listen to the answers that you're given. You don't need to rush through your questions either. Ask for clarity if you need it. Number 2, don't ignore the red flags or your gut feeling. Your best nonsense detector is your gut, your intuition. So listen to it. Do you see or hear anything that you don't like about the entire recruitment process? Because how they treat you while you interview is the treatment you can expect when you start working. And number 3, pay attention. From the minute you start interacting with the hiring manager, pay attention. Not only to them, but how other people around them respond to them. Do people respond with respect and ease or with uncertainty and fear? Always pay attention to the words that they use as well when they're speaking to you and others. Are these words positive or negative and sarcastic? Now, how do you recognize whether or not you're experiencing a bully manager and not just an ineffective manager? Like I mentioned yesterday, workplace bullies are smart and sometimes subtle in their toxic behavior. So here are 5 subtle behaviors to look out for. Number 1, they change the goalposts constantly. Nothing is ever good enough. Once you've completed a task, then the requirements all of a sudden change. Number 2, they take credit for your work. Getting full credit for your work in corporate is important because this is your output, how you will progress and be recognized in the organization. 3, they intentionally withhold information. This is done to ensure you aren't actually able to complete any work on time or to the required standard. 4, criticizing your work in front of others. This is to belittle and kill your confidence in front of other people. And number 5, undermining your work or your role. It is not calling you to a team meeting when a new team member is introduced or pulling projects from you that should be yours. It's anything that will weaken or threaten your position in the team. That's it from today. I hope this information was valuable. We will see you tomorrow as we discuss things that you can do to actually thrive despite a bully manager. Thank you so much for joining. You can continue the conversation with me on LinkedIn by following my hashtag QM Career Coaching or on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well at Hello Coach K. Or if you prefer, you can send me an email at info@hellocoachk.com. See you next time.